10%, literally. This is 1.74% deviation between the population of the largest populated district that's on this plan and the smallest. I try to do that whenever I can for my municipal clients, because in doing so, there's a hope that the movement over the next 10 years will be spread. If there is movement, it'll balance out, and you won't have to spend your money 10 years from now doing this again. I've got you a map that I'll show you briefly before going over. Put up District 2, if you will, before going into detail. Can you increase the size of that thing just a bit? Or is that stuck? No, that's all right.
You want District 2 or
Plan 2?
Plan 2.
This is, if you start comparing them between the paper maps you've got, you'll see the differences here. And there's some differences right here is one, and there's a difference over here is another one. This plan, this is a draft plan, surely. It hasn't been totally reviewed by me. This plan, though, I have reviewed it enough and gotten comfortable with it enough to know if you were interested in this plan. This plan will meet all the legal requirements, but the deviation in population is going to be over about 7%, give or take. It has some different lines, and it has some, when I say clean lines, one of the things that's important to the extent you can when you draw districts is to try to keep boundaries that so people know, okay, I'm voting on people that live in this area. My boundary of my district that I have in common, if I want to campaign for office, this is the boundary. And some of you all that, if you look at your district plan map over here, the last plan that we prepared, you adopted, followed a little creek or stream drainage all the way up. Well, this plan goes across that stream or village because we're trying to balance out. It'll be good. It'll be good. It will meet the legal requirements. It's not as good as Plan 1, and this is not finished yet. We've got more work to do on this plan. And I'll go back over, and I'm not trying to, and saying that Plan 1 is one that I can recommend to you guys in the council, in the city, without any hesitation. It's just one that I was a little bit surprised at, because I remember when I did the last one, I had a little trouble getting some balances in there. This plan, there's a thing called retrogression. And when retrogression is one of those things lawyers invent, or mostly statisticians actually now, that means, for example, when you get we've got cities that we represent that has, we're city attorney in Uvalde, for example. Well, you can expect over Uvalde, the Hispanic population is going to predominate in many areas. In other communities, it's more mixed and homogeneous. You're fairly balanced. Well, in this city, when we started off, when you adopted your first districting plan, it was because we had, and I get in trouble everywhere I go in some communities, I say black population, they get upset because it didn't say African American. And we had black citizens that had a sufficient population here and sufficiently concentrated to have districts in which they could be assured of not electing a black person, electing a person of their choice if they wanted to get out and campaign and vote. And so the first plan we did, it was adopted way back there, accomplished that purpose. This plan, and for this point, when I realized that some people may not like these kind of reviews, this part of the review, but that's what this is all about. It's not only one person, one vote, but equal opportunity. In your existing districts, as you have today, your District 1 up here has I'm using Census Bureau words now, black, non-Hispanic population of 59.22%, 29%. The District 3 down in this area has a majority black, non-Hispanic population of 59.46%. So those are the two primary. Like I say, District 4, that district is exactly the same as it is on Plan 1, as it is on your current map. It has not changed. The population, the percentage black population of District 1 on Plan 1, what Plan 1? Doesn't make a lot of difference. This district, as proposed in Plan 1, is 59.97% black. That compares, so we've got a few hundreds of percentage points more, so there's certainly no retrogression. The District 3 plan, district here, and this plan has a 59.85% black population, so we kept both of your clearly majority, minority districts above the number. Now, we're doing plans for other cities right now that I'll tell you, you can't always do that. Because of in-migration in some cities. I've got one city not too far away from here that when I started off, it was difficult in the first majority black population district to get it under 65%, which...
Please, let's show some respect, please, quietly.
Yeah, because I want to know what's in District 2, white population.
You're not questioning here. Go ahead, sir.
So that we've, the latest, this is the third time I've done it for them, the latest, there's been changes, shifts in population. We can't keep that high number. It's down to the best district we can draw. It's 48% in that one place. But what that's accomplishing is partly what this country set out to accomplish in the 60s. Again, Plan 1, you've got in your community a total of 3,171 non-Hispanic white people. You've got a total of 3,357 non-Hispanic black people. You've got 822 Hispanic, or people that fill out the census that claim to check the Hispanic block. And you've got 234 other. My daddy would have said my family fit together because we didn't know what we were. And so across the board here, this plan, Plan 1, District 1, has 481 Anglos for a total of 25.17% of the population. It's got 1,146 black, non-Hispanic for 59.97%. And it's got 232 Hispanics for a population of 12.4%, which is a little higher, and that's good in a sense. If you get off into all the Supreme Court cases and assessments, it's a little higher than their average of 10% of the population of the community. And it has 52 other. And other can be Asians. In some communities, you have to break those numbers out. There's enough that you have to break them out and list them. It could be Pakistan, people from Pakistan, other parts of the Middle East, China, and in some areas you get where you list other categories, but that's a catch-all group. And the thing from a redistricting standpoint, this line here is the same as it was under your district plan. It's got what we call clean lines. People can know this, we go down to X Street and we stop at X Street. You can mark it off on the streets or the creeks and say, here's our boundaries of this district. District 2 has a, if I get my glasses adjusted here. District 2 has the total population of District 1 here is 1,911. I did not give you that number. District 2 has a total population of 1,880. And remembering as we go along, the ideal, if you divide it, just put the exact same number in every district, it would be 1,898. In that District 2, there's 1,346% Anglos, white people. There's 338 black people, and for 17.98% of the district. There's 143 Hispanics for 7.61, and there's 53 others. Now, I'm going to touch real briefly in a minute on the voting age, and it's amazing. It's one of the first times I've seen it where the voting age populations of these districts for the minorities are actually as good or better than the total population. That's very uncommon. District 3, which is one of the increased change districts here where the population has grown, and this proposed plan has 1,913 total citizens. It has 473 Anglos, which is 24.73%. It has 1,145 Black Americans, which is 59.85%. 225 Hispanics, which is 11.7%, and 70 in other racial groups. District 4 is basically pretty much where it was 10 years ago. The boundaries have not been changed at all. The population has shifted. Number may have changed by a percentage point. There's 1,886 people living in District 4. Of those, 877 are white people, non-Hispanic white. 728 are black non-Hispanics, that's 38.6%. Hispanic are 222, that's 11.77%. And other are 59. And as indicated, the greatest span, the maximum deviation between the largest district and the smallest district is 1.74%. And that's in short, there's 18 less people in District 2 than the ideal. And there's 15 more people in District 3 than the ideal. And so you've got a total variation between the populations of these districts, the way the census people, to figure the calculation of 33. That's an extraordinarily low number. Now, I will tell you, I can't pick, although I feel like I should be able to come pretty close here, although I've done it so many times, but I can't pick what the best plan is for your community. I can tell you what a good plan under the law is, a good plan that meets all of the legal requirements, trying to keep it as close as reasonably possible to what you've got, but things change in communities. The map, put map 2 up there again, if you will. This one is a work in progress. is indicated, it will, but I don't think